Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my top 5 dream reptiles that I would ever want, you know. So make sure you smash that motherfucking subscribe button. Move, you fucking moron! Anyway, we're going to start off the list today with number 3. My number 3 dream reptile is probably going to be a bearded dragon. I mean, who doesn't like those little guys? You know, they got their heads that kind of bob up and down. Every time I'm going in the Petco with my son, you know, we see the bearded dragons and he always goes, "Hey, Pa! Hey, look at those lizards, aren't they pretty cool?" And I'm like, yeah, son, they're pretty cool. All right, my number 2 dream lizard, it's probably gonna be a protoceratops. Not gonna lie, those things are they're kind of weak, they're kind of wussy, but honestly they're extinct. There's one of them that's buried locking arms with a velociraptor, and velociraptors are pretty sick, and I guess protoceratops is the next best thing. So yeah, number 2 dream reptile, it's gonna be protoceratops. My number 1 dream reptile is gonna be Marjorie Taylor Greene. I feel like she would thrive amazingly in a very small glass box with a very direct heat lamp on top of her, which that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is my number 1 dream reptile. So anyway, you guys, thanks for coming to my channel. Now we'll get into the actual video and you can watch me materialize some sunglasses because I didn't actually plan this skit appropriately. What's up everybody, it's me Chuck from the Bronx, and today I'm going to be... No more Brooklyn Drimfo today. If you're a person that is capable of being perceived by other people, you've probably been asked the question, so what's your dream pet? But of course we're going to be apropos-ing that concept into reptiles, because that's kind of what this channel talks about, reptiles.
Hey, what's going on, reptiles?
Basically, I've been asked numerous times before by people, so what's your dream? And that's a very interesting question to answer. Kind of, maybe? I don't know, I'm gonna make it interesting though. I feel like a lot of reptile YouTubers try to answer this question by making some videos that are just kinda... See what I mean? I feel like if anyone was to appropriately answer that question, you'd have to separate your answers into varying degrees of unreasonableness. Because a dream pet, or in this situation, a dream reptile, is only a dream if it's at least slightly out of reach. Like, you can't just say, oh, you know what, my dream reptile, that's a rosy boa right now. I'm gonna go to the OC fan next week, I'm gonna pick up a rosy boa for like $90, man, that's my dream right there. And if you have small dreams, that's fine, I don't mean to bag on you, but I'm just saying that the answer is usually interesting when it's something that's unattainable. Like if I told you a few months ago that my dream lizard was a jeweled lacerda, and then I make this 20-minute video about me getting a jeweled lacerda, that's like, oh, that's a dream that's been accomplished pretty quickly. Now where do I go? Nowhere to go but down. So we're gonna do 3 different categories of dream reptile, all in varying and increasingly large degrees of unreasonableness. So here's the first category. Something I've wanted for a very long time, and I think a lot of other reptile people can agree with, is an Argentine tegu, whatever. Who cares? Stop asking me, don't correct my grammar, or my pronunciation, or my diction. That's the language of the colonizer, the voice of the oppressor. Argentine tegus are just so cool. Like, I've mentioned them in a few other videos before. You know, they're just real big lizards that are super intelligent and fun to interact with. They're like some of the only species of reptiles and lizards in general that are capable of actual affection, and they eat like crazy. And I'm just looking at them. I would very much like to take a tegu for a walk. I feel like that would be so much fun. It'd also be pretty cool to sort of have this like giant tegu cage in like my future house or apartment or whatever, and I have someone come over and I'd be like, you want to meet my dog? Oh, that's not a dog, it's a tegu. I'm just so quirky and interesting, huh? But yeah, if I got a tegu, I don't know what I'd name it. I'd probably name it something stupid like Phil. Sorry if your name is Phil, but your name kind of sucks. Or just some like dopey human name like Bob, Kevin, Mark, Zuck. Following suit with animals that I'd eventually like to own, but probably couldn't as of right now for whatever reason, is the green tree monitor. Green tree monitor really just needs no introduction nor justification. They're just so beautiful, and yeah, they're like really difficult to take care of, and they're like super expensive and like hella fragile. I really like that size of lizard. Like, it's a very moderately sized lizard, which means that if you do get one that's kind of tamed down or whatever, then it's like, there are people speaking in my house. toy. But yeah, they're a nice modest size that I feel like if you did get one that was capable of being tamed down or was predisposed to enjoying handling, it would be such a joy to handle because they are active and just beautiful lizards. The problem is that they're just so goddamn expensive. Like, I just don't have like $3,000 plus to drop on a pair of green tree monitors right now. Plus, if I were to get one, I would want to put them in some like giant custom made cage that had like live plants and isopods and was all bioactive, and just the stuff that I have like over here is just not suitable for that kind of stuff. But eventually, we're definitely gonna get one. I actually saw a pair of them on Craigslist not too long ago that I would check like every single day to see if they were still there, and eventually someone bought them. Unfortunate, but it's not like I would have been able to get them anyway. I will Venmo you an indiscriminate amount of money if you can prove and give verifiable evidence you've heard of this neck snake before. I think one of my other dream reptiles is probably gonna be a Moorlandos rat snake, which I only recently heard about, but they're just so beautiful. I've only been able to find one of them right now that was actually available for purchase online, and other than that, they're mostly kept in like zoological institutions, like zoos. Where are they from? Sorry, Mollendorf rat snake. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm illiterate. Again, language of the colonizer, voice of the oppressor. The snake is native to China and like parts of Southeast Asia and like Vietnam and Laos, and I would assume Cambodia as well. But they're just really cool looking snakes. And I don't know, I really like colubrids, like rat snakes, king snakes, and etc. And I've never seen a snake with this sort of coloring or patterning, so I feel like it'd be a fun addition. I'd have something to get in the future if I could ever track one down. Next category is... Yeah, these are ones that are still somewhat reasonable, but I wouldn't get unless I had like a very, very comfortable living situation and was also very much alone and needed to drown my sorrows out. But the first of that list would probably be an Asian water monitor, which is like not an indie pick or whatever, like the Mollendorf rat snake. But they are super cool. And the reason I say that they're kind of far off is because if I were to get an Asian water monitor, I'd want to do it like 100% right. You know, like I want like lots of big land features with like big branches and rock features for them to climb on, and then a huge pool with like fish and like live plants and just like basically like an entire room. And I literally have an entire room right now for myself, my gamer setup, all my clothes, and my reptile. So it's kind of cramped. It's not really something you could fit a water monitor into. Speaking of giant water features, the next most unreasonable thing would be a Cuvier's dwarf caiman, which I'm fairly sure are illegal in California where I'm from. Or maybe you can get a permit. I don't know. I'll probably find a way around it eventually. Crocodilians are bad pets. You probably shouldn't keep them. I don't think anyone would consider it really, but Cuvier's dwarf caimans are pretty small. They're like 5 or 6 feet long. Don't get it twisted though. Like they're still dangerous. They're still very, very dangerous. You know, they have very strong jaws. They can break limbs and rip you apart. But they are small enough to where you don't have to have an entire separate house just for them. I would probably want to build like an outdoor pond. Or you know what I would do is I'd probably dig out a moat around my house and have like a drawbridge and just have like 50 of them just sort of swimming in there so that people wouldn't come into my house because I don't like interacting or socializing with people. And I think the Cuvier's dwarf caiman would provide a good outlet for me to be more insular. I don't know. Crocodilians are just awesome. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a pet crocodile if the situation was right? Right? Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, or else I'm going to shoot you with a Nerf gun. You don't want me to shoot you with a Nerf gun, do you? And the absolute last category is... Yeah, and then so this is the level of like totally unreasonable where I could never ever have one of these. I think the most obvious choice on here is probably a Komodo dragon. I mean, the monitor lizards are sick, and Komodo dragon is just a giant monitor lizard. I've seen videos on YouTube and of like zoos and zookeepers and that kind of stuff playing around with Komodo dragons, and they're literally just big monitors. Like who wouldn't want that? Plus you can ride them in Minecraft if you get Mo creatures, and I would probably want to carry out that fantasy. Not actually though, I'd probably break it. But yeah, I feel like a Komodo dragon would be a super cool pet if I was able to smuggle one. Like as little babies, you know, they're just like moderate sized monitors. It's not too much to ask for. Perhaps I'll take a vacation out to Indonesia and see if I can abduct one and smuggle it back in a baby Bjorn or something, which I hear people have done with other animals. And last but not least would be a Galapagos tortoise. I'm not as into like turtles and tortoises as I used to be. I used to be like a big turtle guy, as you can see by the like decor that's sort of in my room, like right over there. I actually went to Costa Rica and volunteered doing work with sea turtles. And when I was 10 years old, I went to the Galapagos and sort of toured around the islands because I do be colonizing. But I don't know, some of my fondest like reptile memories are with Galapagos tortoises, and they're just so big and peaceful and tranquil, and getting them to eat like native fruits out of my hand was like a really fun experience, and having one of those in my backyard would be awesome. Granted, it would be terrible for my lawn as they would probably just dig up and eat literally all of my plants, but having a tortoise that's larger than you in your backyard, that would be pretty sick. You could literally ride it. You could ride a tortoise. That's it for my dream reptiles. What are your dream reptiles? Tell me, comment, DM me. I don't care. Tell me what your dream reptiles are. I want to know so I can make fun of you. Also, thanks for 600 subs. I'm filming this almost immediately after my previous video, so we're not going to have as much of a delay. That's pretty cool. Pretty great, huh?
So that was a lie.
Not that anyone cares, but pretty great. Tell me what kind of video you see next time, and I'll see you in the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, or don't. I don't care.
Shark, Pog.